What is going on, guys? DBG here, and today we are going to be reacting to Ty's Iced Out Season 3 rewards, or awards in NBA 2K22 MyTEAM. Before we get onto it, if you guys are new to the channel, subscribe. We're trying to hit 280,000 subscribers by the end of the month. If you guys could subscribe, it'd be greatly appreciated. But also, let's go up to Ty. He's about 18k off 100k. Let's try, well, obviously he's not getting 100k from this, but let's see if Ty can hit. Hopefully Ty hits 100k by summer. That would be absolutely insane. But anyway, now let's get on to the video.
What is good, yo? It's your boy Ty back here with another video, and in this video today we are going to be going over
what? Wait, what? Shaq? Steph? I mean, it's got to be Terry, right? What? Shaq is 17 stamina and Steph's 6'3".
My team. Now, we're going to start off with Steph Curry because, I mean, he was our first point guard that really was that 300. He can move and groove. He could dribble. Still on next gen. It's hard to really do anything. But with fading threes, there's no doubt Steph Curry was an absolute cheese. But then we got Shaq.
Fading threes aren't easy, though.
Man himself. Until Yao Ming comes out on Friday. Shaq, I mean, he was, as far as inside bigs.
He still is match man. He still is match man.
You know, cheese your inside bigs and all that 2K. I mean, talk about getting drop stepped. Shaq did a lot of that. And then the dentist. I mean, a shooting guard similar to a guy like Kobe and Clay who can handle the ball, be your primary ball handler. But Terry provided something else. I mean,
has to be the dentist. I'd put Kobe over Curry as well.
But on the offensive end, he has the Rudy base on quick. Super cheesy in general. All three of these guys.
What? Shaq? You are kidding me. What is this? Rudy Gay's cheesier than Shaq.
Guys are cheesy, but I'm gonna go with Shaq.
Oh
I mean, I hate playing against Shaq about as much as anybody, just because as an inside center.
Yeah, but there's about 5 people in the game that are well and truly mash men that can use him. 90% of people you see playing with Shaq stink with him.
He's just so annoying and so tough to get a stop.
Oh my god.
Next up, we're gonna talk about the defensive player of the season. Headline
one of the first two. If you give that to Shaq, I'm done with this video. I'm shutting it off right now.
Obviously, 6'9", comes with Hall of Fame interceptor, 56 base badges. You can get him 62 with every badge spot. Just a card that can do it all.
Has to be
6'9",
LeBron probably, half interceptor.
An incredible all-around defender. Kawhi Leonard. Let's talk about the shooting guard position at 6'7" with his own defensive stance.
Yeah.
Absolutely immaculate. If we're talking about on-ball defenders, I don't know if there's a better one in 2K.
Braun. It's got to be Braun.
At that center position, I mean, I played KG and D-Rob. Shaq is way better than those two on the defensive side of the ball. The only problem with Shaq is he is going to get tired pretty quickly. I'm going to give it to LeBron James.
Agree. We finally agree. Let's go. I agree with that one.
Is because he's 6'9". His player model is just absolutely absurd. And no matter whether you're on current gen or next gen,
he's just going to hawk lanes. He's going to really hawk lanes.
Incredible defensive player. The most overrated card of Season 3 of my...
He's going to give it to Jamal Crawford. And you know what? I'm going to agree with that because Jamal Crawford, you can either make him a really good shooter or a good defender. You can't make him both. You either have a really good defensive, and that's if you badge him out. And then it costs so much to badge him out. I mean, Crawford probably. Crawford's good, but probably Crawford.
My team is our next award. Now, we're going to start off with Allen Iverson.
I like him, but I'll stand by that Crawford.
No, well, there's some people who love Allen Iverson. Some people say, if you don't run Allen Iverson, you just don't know how to use him. Okay, you old head. Like, Allen Iverson, look, I respect what he did in real life in this game at 6 feet tall.
Wait a second. Meme potential, lads. Meme potential.
If you don't run Allen Iverson, you just don't know how to use him.
Wait for it.
Okay, you old head. Like, Allen Iverson.
Full on meme potential.
I respect what he did in real life in this game at 6 feet tall. He's just not it. Jamal Crawford.
It's Crawford.
I was initially high on, spent my Hall of Fame badge on my last note, all my Hall of Fame badges on my last note when he spent on him.
It's probably Jamal.
Just never really lived
up
to my expectations.
I'll give you that. It's probably
Jamal.
Jamal.
Last but not least, Steph Curry. I mean, Steph's probably the best player
Just
here,
better Iverson.
But in general, I mean, a lot of people hype him up to being the best point guard in the game, and he's just not that. He's just not. My most overrated card is Allen Iverson. There should be no...
Really? Really? I think most people agree Iverson's not that great.
People using this card. There shouldn't have been anybody grinding for this card. He is absolutely worthless. Next up, the most underrated card in NBA 2K.
There are way more underrated cards than these. 90% of those NBA 75 cards should be in. Freaking, give it to Amethyst Carmelo. He came out 2 days ago. As much as I hate him. Jaylen Brown, Pink Diamond. People aren't hyped enough about him. Freaking Dave Bing probably deserves to be on this. Over maybe even Magic. Magic's just the X-switch everything. He's the best for that.
We're going to start off with Andre Drummond.
Draymond's not underrated. We all know how good Draymond is.
You know that I love Andre Drummond. Big fan of what he can give you on both ends of the court as far as an inside big. He's not as good as Shaq, right? Shaq's still going to be that dominating inside big, but he's kind of that off-brand Shaquille O'Neal. Yeah. Next up, Magic Johnson. Today was the day I realized how effective you can use Magic Johnson. I mean,
if he mentions the X switching, I told everyone that the day Magic came out, the new meta was going to be X switching, and it is the meta. I'm telling you, like, I'm not the greatest 2K player in the world. I admit that. There's a reason why I'm really good at the start of games. It's because I'm really good at finding out the cheese quickly. I was running 2-man before Splash. Heck, I'm running 2-man since 2K18. Like, I'm good at... I learned the shot stick cheese before anyone. The only thing I'm good at is finding out the cheese. And I'm telling you, I know how to use Magic. I knew straight away how to use Magic Johnson. And now he is the cheese.
I think he's better on current gen than next gen. But here's the deal. If you got Kobe Bryant, you don't need to dribble the ball much with Magic anymore.
No.
He can be 6'9", a really good defender, can cheese on the interior. I think Magic Johnson is very underrated. Last but not least, Draymond Green. Now, a lot of people might be like, Ty, everybody loves Draymond.
Everyone loves Dray.
Underrated. I do not play against Draymond as much as I should.
Yeah, it's because Rudy Gay exists.
Super solid. I just feel like people still to this day sleep on Draymond.
No, there's just better options.
For me, it's Andre Drummond. If you're wondering why, all you gotta do is go watch the Nobody Spent squad.
I agree. People think the guy's a bum, and he's actually very solid, so I'll give you that.
He is an absolutely immaculate inside big. Next award is our best token.
John Collins next.
Award. Now we're gonna go to the best.
Danny Green's not even bad though.
For their specific value, because John Collins is 150 tokens. Now, if you liked in for John Collins,
he's so good.
All I can really say is I'm sorry.
He's so good.
He's got a very mediocre power forward, probably not even a top 10 power.
What? Yeah, I agree now, but he was day one. 6 weeks ago, he was a demon. He was out. These cards were 6 weeks ago. He was so nice. I freaking used him in my Unlimited squad until Christmas. He was so good.
For the game. But if you're a big Atlanta Hawks fan, do what you had to do. Colin Sexton up next. For a diamond's not terrible, but the problem is he's 6'1", right? It's hard to use 6'1".
He does have a long wingspan, though.
Last but not least, Amethyst Danny Green. Maybe the best card out of all three of these.
No. Honestly, no. And this is the only time I would ever say a pink diamond token where, like, John Collins is better. It's the only time I'm ever not going for the budget option. John Collins is just significantly better than the rest of them.
I mean, Danny Green is a guy that you can play that shooting guard position. He's not going to be the best shooting guard in the game, but he has a decent enough release, and he is going to be able to hold it down.
Can't move.
For me, I'm taking Danny Green just because he is the best for his specific value.
I don't agree.
Next award is our budget MVP, in which
Draymond Green is like 35k. It's Scottie Pippen. Scottie Pippen is the budget MVP. I mean, I don't really like Mike Miller that much. If you want to argue Mike Miller, fine. I just, for some reason, don't. I don't know why I don't like the card. I should like the card. But it's Scottie. It's Scottie. There's no question. It's Scottie.
One of these cards is under 20,000 MT. Now, Draymond Green, probably the most expensive.
Draymond's not under 20,000 MT. Draymond, at times, was under 20k. He's gone up as high as 40.
We just got done talking about him. I think he's so underrated, so underappreciated.
If Draymond's under 20, yeah, go Draymond.
My Draymond to LeBron, so it's kind of hard to compare those two. If you aren't able to get Brown, not able to get Giannis, Dre is a perfect guy to plug in at the power forward position. Scottie Pippen, guy hasn't been talked about too much. About 10,000 MT is basically a pure lock. I mean, he's basically an off-brand like a Kawhi Leonard. Kawhi is obviously going to be able to do more offensively. He has a better release. It is even a little bit better on the defensive end of the court. Scottie's 6'8", 7 foot.
Scottie's so good at guarding interior.
Release, base 30 on, especially on next gen, is not bad at all. And then Mike Miller, a recent guy that came.
He gives the Miller. I'm cool. I don't care who he gives this to. I don't care who he gives this to.
Lights out. Jump shot 22. I wish was a little bit quicker, but still as far as a no money spend squad account, there's one guy I like over the others.
I'm cool with that. For some reason, I don't like Mike Miller. But I mean, that's just a me problem. He's like objectively brilliant. He can dunk, he can move, he can handle the ball, he shoots from limitless. He does everything. So yeah, I'll agree. There was no wrong answer there.
And that is Miller the Killer. Mr. Inconsistent was one of the tougher.
There was a Kevin Durant this season. You do know that, Ty, don't you? There was a Kevin Durant. There was a Kevin Durant. And he's not even nominated. Buddy Hield is the most consistent shooter in this game. I don't know how he's a Mr. Inconsistent. I mean, Dunk is just not a good enough shooter to be consistent.
Awards to come up with this season. I'm going to start off with Tim Duncan, okay, guys? Tim Duncan's a card on my last no money spend account that I picked up, and there'd be days where I'd say, dang, this Tim Duncan is the best center in the game. Like, better than KG, better than D-Rob. And then there's the next
It's like KG Light.
How does anybody like this Tim Duncan card? I know he's really good defensively. He has the Hall of Fame interceptor. Only a 76-3 ball, though. I mean, he can handle the ball a little bit, but not great. He's just a tough guy just to even talk about. I mean, he is really good. I don't like
KG Light like
Duncan. And I think people need to respect what Tim Duncan can do. Some days I love him. Other days I'm like, how do people use this card? Buddy Hield up next. I mean, I really thought Buddy Hield was him when he did come out.
He is him.
The card has a really smooth release.
He is him.
Based on quick. And maybe I got a little carried away with talking about how good that release was. Because obviously Buddy lacks a lot. You can't just necessarily apply badges.
He lacks one thing and it's handles for days. He literally lacks one thing and it's handles for days.
The players with Evos, they have to come with whatever they upgrade with. And that's the hard part. I mean, Buddy is really good. He's only 6'4" and he's still missing some badges. And that's why he can't be any better. Magic Johnson, when he can...
But that... How does that make him inconsistent? If you wanted to say put him in the most overrated, then fair, maybe at a point. But... What? Inconsistent?
Came out, I said this card's not good. Now, I swore today that they patched Magic because I was having success.
Magic's the meta. Magic's just a meta card. If he suits your playstyle, he's meta.
I'm acquiring to how good Magic Johnson is. You gotta know how to use him. You can't use him as that primary ball handler. But if you do know how to use Magic, I think he can be a top 3 or so point guard in the game. I think Tim Duncan
probably
is our most inconsistent player in my team. If you're wondering why, there's literally some days I think he's the best center in the game.
I think the Hoff Interceptor badge is one of the most inconsistent things ever, especially Hoff Interceptor without like a 90 steal. On guys like KG and Duncan, sometimes they steal the ball every single time. Other times they just slap the ball back to the opponent. They'll get into every lane, they'll just slap it back to them. So that Hoff Interceptor badge is so inconsistent. Sometimes it feels like the best in the game, sometimes it feels like the worst. And sometimes it feels like it doesn't do anything. It's Buddy Hield.
Next up is our best Evo. So the best Evo award is going to go to the...
And also like the fact that Caldwell and Boozer are both better than Westbrook. Dwayne Wade is better than Westbrook. Dwayne Wade's the best. Dwayne Wade's the best. Where's Dwayne Wade? Where's the actual winner? Where is he?
The player who gets
Wade.
The best from, let's say, Buddy Hield's Amethyst.
Wade stinks before the Evo.
Non-Evo cards.
It's Wade.
Card, same thing with Kevin Love. His non-Evo card to his Evo card.
It's Wade.
Not which of these cards is the best. Which
Wade
one gets the best upgrade.
Buddy or Wade?
I mean, Kevin Love, obviously, you know what he gets, okay? He gets a lot of speed, I do
Can't play defense, though.
Becomes a pretty decent big in the game. I mean, a usable big, I would say, has a really smooth release. If you want to use Kevin Love as a stretch big, do what you got to do. Buddy, on the flip side of things, gets, I think...
5 half defense badges.
a lot better defensively.
Or 4 half defense badges.
His Amethyst card can move and groove, but you give him that defense, it makes him that much better. Russ, again, a guy that sees a lot of upgrades in those shooting kind of categories and can be a usable point guard in the game. I don't think any of these cards are unusable. We're talking about the best Evo, though. I think it's Kevin Love with him.
What? What are we doing here? What are we doing here? Kevin Love's not even top. Like, Wade, Buddy Hield. Kevin Love may not even be better than Carlos Boozer. Like, it's debatable. Caldwell's better. Like, Caldwell's better than Kevin Love. Wade is better than Kevin Love. Buddy Hield is better than Kevin Love. I'm not going to put any of the lower ones better. Heck, I'd even put Russ over Kevin Love. Kevin Love, are you joking me? Is this where we're going? Kevin Love?
What his Evo is, I initially thought Caleb was going to be him because his Evo is a lot of things that get upgraded that, I mean, really help the card out. Next up is our MVP
Kawhi.
of Season 3 of my team. Talk about each and every one of these cards and what they can give you. Kawhi, the Pink Diamond, I think
Terry's the best, but you had 2 extra weeks of Kawhi. LeBron's one of those things.
Has a smooth release, really good on-ball defender. Bron, a guy I like on both gens. People are going to be like, well, Ty, his release on current gens is not good. It's good. He just steps in, which, I mean, I live with. I mean, I green basically every shot I shoot with Bron on current gen. The dentist, man, last but not least, you could plug in Kobe if you wanted to right there. It really all comes down to preference. Again, the Rudy base on quick. If you want to put Rudy in this MVP discussion, I don't hate you either. But the Rudy base on quick,
Kawhi, I think
everything else he gives you is absolutely immaculate.
I agree.
I'm giving it to Kawhi Leonard.
I agree.
I just think Kawhi's ability to be that secondary ball handler is crazy good.
I agree.
I do like LeBron better on defense, but I like Kawhi.
LeBron can't move on offense, so
little bit
I agree.
Going to our all Ruby team next, Jalen Noel, the moments cards that did.
I'm gonna give you a pass. I'm gonna give you a pass, Ty. I'm gonna give you a very, very small pass. Because you may not know. You may not have used these cards. I'm gonna give you a pass. Why is Nate McMillan not a point guard? Dude 6'6", can kind of shoot and can kind of move. Where's Jarvis Hayes at the 2? Like, Jarvis Hayes needs to be there. Nate McMillan needs to be there. As well as that, where, like, you got Mo Bamba over Chimezie Metu. Metu is so much better. I'm not that high on Gerald Green, but I can kind of see where Gerald Green is. I can kind of see putting Gerald Green there. Or if you want to put in Jalen Noel instead of Gerald Green, put Jalen Noel at the 2. But the best point guard that came out this season that was Ruby by a country mile was Nate McMillan. The best 2 guard by a country mile is Jarvis Hayes. Small forward, it is what it is. I'll give you Gerald Green. Power forward, actually, there has to be a better small forward than Gerald Green. Is there? No, Gerald Green's the best. Power forward, I'll give you Bobo. 7'2". Center, Metu is so much better than Mo Bamba. It's not even funny. And also, Nerlens Noel is better than Mo Bamba as well. Metu is so freaking nice.
Moment card that did get released at the point guard position, moving to Shannon Brown, then Gerald Green at the 3. But with the 4 is an intriguing card. Mo Bamba, I wish I would have made him better at.
Yeah! Use Metu. Let me compare these two. Metu and Mo Bamba. So, first of all, Mo Bamba is taller and has a way longer wingspan. I do want to make that a point. That does make a difference, but it's not everything. So, Metu versus Bamba. There is a total of 161 better stats for Metu. Metu can handle the ball. Metu shoots the ball better because his release isn't broken. I shot like 3 straight very earlys with Mo Bamba. Before I'd even let go of the button, I was shooting very earlys. Rebounding, Bamba slightly better. Speed, plus 44 speed with ball. Like, speed itself, plus 9 for Metu. Metu's a way better mid-range, way better three-pointer, way better release. Even though it shouldn't be, he does have a better release. He's strong. He's way stronger, plus 14 strength. He doesn't get eaten alive inside like Mo Bamba does. He's way faster laterally, 83 lateral, has an 82 steal. In terms of badges, Mo Bamba has some absolutely awful badges. Like Grace under pressure, Lob City finisher, putback boss, rise up. Like, you're kidding me. Defensively, you've got Intimidator and Bamba. But you've got like Pogo Stick, Hustler, Brick Wall, so he can set screens, Rebound Chaser, which is important. Shooting, you've got Catch and Shoot. You've also got Backdown Puncher, Acrobat, and Glue Hand, so Metu will catch the ball. Metu's so much better, it's not even funny. It's not even funny how much better Metu is than him.
At the 5. Now, none of these cards are cards I would recommend using. We've seen some Rubies in the past.
Which was the best Ruby?
Like more than them. Heck, even a Sapphire Jonathan Isaac would probably be the best card on this team. But with what we got in Season 3, this is our all-Ruby team. Next up, the all-Ami team. Now, if you wanted to throw Josh Giddey on this team,
I'd move Giddey. I'd start Giddey, move Caruso to the 2.
Don't blame you one bit, right? If you wanted to sit there and say Josh Giddey deserves a spot on this team, do what you got to do. I think Alex Caruso is that little bit better than Josh Giddey.
He is, but I play Caruso to 2.
Chapman, basically another stand.
Okiki and Sadiq Bey are both better than Vince Carter, and it's not even close. Like Vince, I agree with Karl Malone and I agree with Mobley. Okiki and Sadiq Bey. One of those two belongs on the list. And I would either run Point Giddy or Dave Bing over Rex Chapman and I'd move Caruso to the 2.
Jones at the 2. Vince at the 3. You guys know my love for Vince. Karl Malone at the 4 is an interesting.
Malone's good. Malone's good.
For probably a lot of you guys, but I think what he gives me on the defense end is a lot. The Navi.
Again, Malone, like, his Amethyst is probably like somewhere around the 13th best center in the game. So, like, honestly, he's good. He's good. So if he gets a Galaxy Opal or a Dark Matter, we could be looking at a card like... We could honestly be looking at a card that is could potentially be in Moziel's main squads in as one of the best 13 players in the game. Like, that's what I think we could see with Karl Malone because of how good he is this year. But yeah, this card easily a top 13 center in my team and belongs in the Amethyst. And so is Evan Mobley. Both of those guys belong. I'd get rid of these two Christmas guys. I'd move Caruso to the 2. I'd probably put either Okiki or Sadiq Bey at the 3. And then I'd move Giddy to the 1.
Basically plugging in Evan Mobley at the 5. Evan Mobley was the easiest guy to plug in to this entire team because he is absolutely incredible. Next up, the all-diamond team. Now, I don't love Jamal Crawford, but there's not many other options at that point guard position, so that's who I had to go with.
Jaren Jackson Jr. over Bob McAdoo. Now, that's controversial. And that is a controversial one right there. I will have to say that. That is a controversial one. Crawford, definitely the best dime point guard. No question, Crawford's the best dime point guard. Miller at the 2, I'm fine with that. I prefer Oladipo. I don't know why, but I do prefer Oladipo. But I'll admit Miller's better for most people. Scotty at the 3, 100% agree. Draymond at the 4, 1000% agree. And I just put Bob McAdoo at the 5.
Mike Miller, love him at the shooting guard. Scottie Pippen, love him at the small forward. Draymond, love him at the power forward. All 3 of those guys are in discussion for the best budget card. And then Jaren Jackson, plugging in at that center position. Now, if you wanted to go Bill Russell cards like that at center, do what you got to do. But I think on current gen,
I think he forgot McAdoo.
I'd lean heavily.
I think he forgot McAdoo.
JJJ. The all-pink diamond team up next. Magic Johnson at the point guard position.
I agree.
Obviously, I told you guys today he's a top 3 point guard. The other cards, Gary Payton, Penny Hardaway, came out and packed.
Wade at the 1 is a shout. It's either Wade or Magic at the 1. These 2 guys, these 3 no-brainers. Terry, Kawhi, Rudy Gay. Absolute no-brainers. No-brainers for me. You might say Kevin Durant somewhere in there, but for me, these 3 are no-brainers. And is Duncan really the best big time at center that we've seen? Boogie? DeMarcus, maybe? Wait a minute. How? You said Shaq was the cheesiest card in the game. Nominated him for Defensive Player of the Year of the season. And I put Duncan over him? I agree Duncan's better than Shaq, but still.
Past seasons. TyDEBO'S
Boogie would be the best for me.
2. Could have Kobe Bryant once again right there. Kawhi at the 3, Rudy at the 4, and then big Tim Duncan at the 5. Again, told you guys in the past that Tim Duncan is inconsistent, so we caught him on a good day. He makes the all-pink diamond team. The all-opal team last, but certainly not least.
It's default, basically.
Luka Doncic.
There's no Zion. It's literally default other than Zion.
If you're wondering who got left out, well, got Allen Iverson and Zion.
Oh, yeah, 2. Zion's a bum. Iverson's not great either.
Is this all-opal team very good? I mean, you got a good front court in Brown and Bosh, but outside of those 2 guys,
Luka's so nice. Luka's so nice.
Some people swear by Luka and love Luka.
He's uncontested. You can't contest the guy.
Those people. But this rounds it out for.
I played against someone using Luka for the first time a couple of days ago in clutch time, and like I don't mean using Luka. I've plenty of people have used Luka, but someone who knew what Luka does, and they literally put Luka in the corner, threw the ball to him, and just shot and greened everything. There was nothing I could do. I was pressing. I was jumping at them. They got like they greened the freaking 4-pointer. Like, literally, you can't contest Luka Doncic's jumper. I don't know what it is with it, but you just can't contest it.
All Galaxy Opal team. Let's get it wrapped up for our award ceremony.
Kevin Love is the most ridiculous decision I've ever seen when Dwayne Wade exists. Shaq being the most cheesy player of the season is absolutely ridiculous as well. I agree with Defensive Player of the Season. I disagree with the overrated one. I don't think Iverson's that bad. I would probably give that to Jamal Crawford. I don't necessarily disagree with the underrated. Token word I completely disagree with John Collins. Budget MVP, I didn't care who we gave it to. They're both good. They're all three of them are good. Mr. Inconsistent, going to Tim Duncan. I mean, it is what it is. Best Evo, Kevin Love is absolutely ridiculous. MVP, I agree, Kawhi Leonard. All Ruby team, look, I don't think Ty's used these Rubies enough. This is an absolute travesty. This is a farce of a list. Like, this is an absolute, like, there is no way Ty has ever used any of these players other than Bobo. There is a 0% chance he's ever used any of these players. If this is what he's come out with his all Ruby team. All Amethyst team, these two guys don't belong. There are pretty good Amethysts that aren't here. But we got three of them bang on. All Diamond team, Bob McAdoo should be a center, but I'm not going to argue 1 through 4. Pink Diamond team, probably not Duncan a center, but other than that, I agree with the Opal team. Not too bad. So anyway, yeah, that is pretty much it. That's the video. Thank you guys for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe.